What is going on, guys? My name is Moto, and today you're going to be watching an MXGP 3 rider customization video here today on my channel. It's been a little bit since I've actually posted a video, but we're recording this on the PlayStation 4. I really didn't want to get my computer and Elgato all hooked up because I am moving my stuff around quite often between my mom and dad's house. But, you know, I thought it's been a while, so I might as well make a customization video. So right here, what you're seeing is actually going to be the gear set that I'm running right now. One of the two. I'm going to show up my other one, and then we'll get right into the customization. I ride with the brace on for no reason. That's just to spend money on. And then we'll move on to rider outfit number 2. I don't know why I clicked on that. We need to go to showroom. So we can spin that bitch right on around and make it look beautiful. I don't know, I like the Alpine Star gear quite a lot. I'm running Bell helmets just because they're Bell helmets and they're Bell. And that's pretty fucking cool. But yeah, so let's hop right into the customization aspect of this shit. First off, we're going to start with the 6D helmets, in general the helmets. And 6D didn't really impress me too much. I'm not a fan of the 6D helmets, not because they're shit, because they do look alright, but I mean, that's just not what I want to wear. Moving on to Acerbies, they got some interesting choices. Again, I'm not really a fan of Acerbies, so I probably wouldn't wear them, but I do know a lot of people that think that these actually look really, really cool. I like the mouthpiece of that. Moving on to the AGV, not a fan of how those look. Personally, I'm not a fan of them. I don't think they look too good. Going on to Aero. This one was what I was looking forward to quite a lot besides Bell, because I thought there was going to be a certain one in here, and we'll get to that. But the first 3 are pretty much America, and then it goes on to this one, which is obviously not too America. It has blue and white, so I guess you can pair it with an American gear set. But then this is the one I was excited about, because I was like, yay, they brought back that Red Bull looking helmet, even though it's not a Red Bull. And then I looked at the back, and I realized that it's not the same one. So they took away my Red Bull helmet, and now I'm sad. Not really. I'm not really sad, but yeah, this helmet looks really interesting. This is one of those helmets that I could rock, but I'm not completely sure. Obviously, I am running Bell helmets right now, so probably not going to do it for a little bit. But moving on, you got this interesting color scheme. I could wear this helmet a good amount of times. I do wear blue and yellow quite a lot, at least that shade of blue and yellow, because I think it looks unique and nice and clean. Moving on to this one, and kind of going through them. You know, they have all right selections. Moving on to Answer, though, not a lot of fun stuff. Like, they have theirs. I like their own brand, and I don't know anybody who's really interested in them. But you know, there's your selections if you're into Answer. Going on to Arai, some interesting looking helmets, but I believe most of these are all the same from the last game. Axo helmets. Yeah, that's what I got to say about those. Bell helmets, the one I run. All of these, if you played MX vs. ATV, I believe that or pretty much the ones in MX vs. ATV are in here. Added in a couple new ones, which makes it interesting. EVS helmets remind me of the 6D, and I'm not a fan of these 6D. I just don't feel like I'd run them, and I don't know. That's just my opinion on the EVS. Fox helmets, disappointing. Again, Fox is a big disappointment with gear this game, and I don't know if it's just because they couldn't get the rights or the looks of the new stuff or what. I'm not sure, but it's pretty much copy-paste from last game. Besides maybe these last couple of helmets, I'm not completely sure because I didn't really rock the Fox stuff. The IXS stuff has an interesting looking mouthpiece as well, but again, I don't think I'd really run it. It's just not my style. Moving on to Just One. Just One looks like pretty interesting stuff. All copy-paste, though. The one thing I will say is I like their carbon fiber stuff, so the stuff I'm scrolling through now until right now. Very interesting stuff. I like that stuff. It looks like you could rock that with all the black in whatever color you really want. So that's a possible selection for me. Scorpion has some interesting stuff. This is actually my favorite helmet in the game at the moment because it is fully black. The only thing that is not black is that small S on the top, and that's barely noticeable, and then that minor gray at the top. But even then, like, it's the only actual full black helmet in the game. that's fully one-tone black and doesn't have something on the side of it. Then you get this crazy outlandish one and this crazy outlandish one. The same, I believe, kind of white scheme that they're going for here. And then that is it with the yellow one right there. Scott, not a fan of Scott. Scott does have a black helmet, but if you can vaguely see right there, there is the Scott name and the Scott S at the top, which I've not ever been a really fan of this helmet anyway, but, you know, interesting to look at. You got some nice varieties that would match. These match the old years. I don't know why the old stuff's in there, but then you got some new stuff that is pretty nice looking. But again, I'm not a fan of the Scott helmet look, so I would not probably rock them. Still going through Scott. Interesting. Moving on to 7, which I found out is Bell. James Stewart, you cheap bastard. All Bell helmets. It doesn't matter. It's 7, but it's Bell helmets. So this helmet here, and then these two are the only 2 that match a gear set, or only 3 that match a gear set. This shit brown one doesn't match anything, and that fucking color doesn't match anything that they got in the game for 7, which is a disappointment. But you know, they might add in DLC. Shoei is what I used to run, and it looks pretty sick, but I don't know if I'm gonna run it. I believe they added this helmet this year, because I don't think this is in. I think it was just these 2 for last year, but I'm not completely sure. Sorry, I'm a little bit tired. Been streaming quite a lot lately, if you haven't noticed. Moving on, I mean, it's just copy-paste again from last game for Shoei, which isn't too big of a disappointment, because I did like the last year's Shoei. One-shot racing gear. I don't know who's going to run these, but cool. Somi. Interesting stuff. They've always had some kind of outlandish-ish shit out there, like these bullet hole, like, that little bit strange. But I know some people may rock that. That would be an American as fuck helmet. That is also an American as fuck helmet, just got green in it. This is I mean, it's just crazy helmets that they put in, which, I mean, good for them, but it's a little bit weird. What does that say? Okay, I thought that said Tommy, so that's Somi. Then they got their same helmets they had in last game, and all of that good stuff. Alright. Moving on to Thor. What? Okay, my controller's just decided to have a seizure. Thor. So you got the same stuff from last game, I believe. They might have added in a couple of extra helmets, but I mean, it's nothing necessarily that I'm going to rock. I don't think a lot of people are going to rock it either, but who knows. UFO has some nice looking stuff, but again, I don't think I'd really run it. And that is the helmets. Moving on to the goggles. I'm only going to go through brands because there's so many goggles it would take me forever to get through. So we got Answer, Axo, EKS, Fox, HZ, Oakley this time. I believe all these gear brands have the same goggles as last year. Pro Grip, 100%. Scott, Thor, UFO. And that is the goggles. There's just so many of those goggles in there that I really don't think that I can get through those and actually make a video that's viewable and that you'll be able to actually, you know, skip through those without those being half of the video. Moving on to the suits, you got a Serbies. Not a fan of a Serbies, but, you know, some people will rock them. The only 2 that I really have big complaints are about this one, because it looks like it's soaking wet, and this one because it looks like it's soaking wet. Why? Why is it shiny? Is it like that in real life? Because if it is, why? Why? Just, why? Anyway, Alpine Star, which I think has the nicest gear in the game. It has a huge variety, massive variety. Most people are running Alpine Star, honestly. This is the same as last year. New, same, new, same, new, new. All of it is so sick. I love all the Alpine Star gear. There's some of them that I just won't run because they're old as old. And there's so much variety in Alpine Star. It just looks so good. Like, I remember when they were just a boot company. And, like, when Alpine Star made gear, I was like, what are they doing? Like, it's going to be dumb. But they've got some really sick looking gear. Answer, last year, honestly, I think had the probably top 3 sickest gear sets in these here. These 4 looked so nice when you were riding with them. I love them. I love them. I love them. Sorry if I just got louder out of nowhere because my mic's been apparently falling down this whole time on my headset. But these gear sets look so clean. Then these ones, I mean, not really too disappointing. They did add in one new gear set, I believe, which is this one right here, the blue one. Looks alright. Looks alright. And then I believe that is all of the answer gear. Moving on to AXO. AXO has pretty much the same stuff as last year in the tiger stripes, but they have different tiger stripes. And that's pretty damn cool looking tiger stripes. This is actually really nice looking gear. Then they added in all these new ones too. I don't believe these were in the last one. They might have been, but I am not 110% certain. Moving on to circuit equipment. I love how they, I will say, I think it's cool that they brought in team gear. This says Brazil. And then factory, which that's not a country. And then USA. I don't know why. Fox, biggest disappointment in the entire gear brand. Like I said in the helmets, it's just all the same, man. And I just don't know how they didn't get the rights. If they just didn't get the rights, it's understandable. But if they're releasing it as DLC, people are going to be pissed. And that's not something you want. JT Racing, a lot of people were hype about this. I don't know if I said that when we went over the JT Racing stuff already. If there is JT Racing, I don't even know, honestly. I've been so far into this video, I have no clue. A lot of people like it. I'm not a big fan. I don't think I'm going to run it, but these gear sets at the end look pretty interesting to me. These 3 in front, These are definitely the most likely ones out of JT that I'd run. Moving on to Kenny. Kenny is the titties. Love Kenny. Love this gear right here. This gear set looks so sick. So sick. Then this one looks so sick. So sick. Oh my god. And then this one makes me sick. Because I'm not a fan. It just looks weird. It's a galactic and not a fan. But it's alright because the other two make up for it. Korax, I have a lot of people that have worn these, and they are pretty cool. They are very interesting. You know, save for last year, I believe, but who cares? They might have added in a couple new ones, but I don't know. I know a lot of people do run some of this stuff, so maybe you're one of those people. I'm not sure. But Pro Grip, on to the next one. Not really so good of a thingamabob. Bleh. I mean, it's the same as last year, so, Scott is probably the biggest confusion to me because if you notice, they had so many damn helmets from last year, and they had none of the same gear. Like, I don't know. I like some of the last year's gear, but, I mean, it's all different, and it just doesn't... I don't know. It's just a little bit weird. 7, probably the second biggest disappointment, noting the announcement. When everybody saw 7 was in the game, everybody was super hype. But, of course, they disappointed because they only gave us 4 gear sets, and they all look like shit. They don't necessarily look like shit, but, I mean, who's wearing this shit? And, like, being like, 7, woo! Maybe these two, but these two just look so bland, and I don't know. I'm disappointed in it. One shot, alright. They're alright. They're not that bad, but, you know, I don't think I'm going to be running them. It's alright. Thor, another disappointment here. It's all the same shit. I mean, all the same shit. What is up with this company and not getting rights to gear and new gear? You know what I mean? Like, the new gear looks so sick. Have you seen the new gear? The new gear looks fucking sweet. The 2000 and I believe it's still 17 looks sick. Moving on to UFO. Same stuff as last year, I believe, except for these front 4. They might be new, but I'm not sure. The UFO gear, though, I will say I think is the sickest looking old gear from last games. It does, I don't know. I think that fade at the top, which you can't really see because of the fucking neck brace, looked really interesting. A lot of people ran this as the Team USA gear, but, you know, that's not my choice for Team USA. So, yeah. Moving on to boots. Got some Acerbi's boots. Got some interesting colors here that would probably match with the gear sets, but I'm not going to run Acerbi's boots because, Alpine Stars, start with the Tech 8s. I believe they're all the same from last game, but that's okay because the Alpine Star boots are pretty fucking sick anyway. They don't have any limited edition ones, which is kind of disappointing, but regardless. I believe the red, white, and blue ones might be limited edition, but I'm not sure. Axo, not a lot of boots, but I didn't think they were a boot company in the first place. So FM Racing, a lot of interesting colors, which could be run. I'm not sure if I'd ever run these, but there's some interesting colors in there. Forma boots, all right. They're all right. All right. Fox, they added in this orange from what I'm aware of, but the rest of the stuff is all the same. Garnet, a little bit disappointed in it, but I guess I can't be too upset. They added in pretty much all limited gear, like limited edition stuff. But they took out the core colors, which is kind of upsetting. Not upsetting, but like a little bit disappointing because I love the original colors. Plus, I love Garnet boots, but that's all right. I run Alpine Star. JT Racing, looks like cheap boots to me, though. I mean, I don't know about you guys. JT Racing boots just look really cheap to me. Kenny, yep. Brand. Scott, also, they look kind of weird. They look like fucking Stormtrooper boots, man. City's got a lot of variety as well. City's got some nice boots in here. Not disappointed in those. I thought that they were going to be a big brand in this game, and it looks like they primarily like made these boots big. They got a lot of variety in it, so it looks very nice. TCX, a lot of interesting colors here again. Didn't even know who TCX was, but they got some nice looking boots. Can pretty much rock these with a lot of different stuff. They've got a lot of different color combinations, and I think that's one of the things that a lot of people are going to like. Got Thor boots. I like this, but I don't think that I've ever worn Thor boots and enjoyed them. Like, I think I had a set of Thor boots when I was little, and I was not a fan of them. We immediately got new boots. They were kind of shit. That's all right. I don't even think that Thor, when they ride with Thor gear, I believe they're running Alpine Star boots anyway. So it's kind of funny that they make boots and don't force their riders to do it. And that is it for the boots. So we'll go with neck braces. We got Alpine Star, same stuff like we assumed they would have. Atlas only has this one. FM Racing has a lot of variety in here. It's random stuff that I don't know about. Liette, of course, they got the same stuff, but added in a couple of extra. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. They added in a couple extra ones, I believe. Not fully sure. And my mic's crackling. I do apologize if that crackle came on through. Movio has some white and blue, and then black and blue. And then Scott. I mean, what? Blah. Anyway, guys, that is it for the customization of the rider. I hope you did end up enjoying this video. Again, I do apologize for yawning. I'm a bit tired and all that good stuff. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And also, if you are returning to the channel, we will have a live stream up later tonight. And pretty much the rest of the week, we're going to be just jamming with live streams because it is the first week of the game for right now. I believe that, you know, in 2 days... 2 days, you know, we're gonna have it be at the week mark, but you know, we're gonna be jamming still. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, if you like this video and saw any construction in this shit, like any constructive thing in here, like okay, well, I wanted to see this gear brand, hit that like button. Comment down below what you want to see next. Do you want to see the bike customization, or do you want to see some online racing? One of the big reasons I haven't been uploading a lot of videos recently is because of the fact I've been live streaming so much, so I don't know. Anyway, guys, like I said, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I'm going to leave my Twitter, my gamer tags, as well as the squads down below in the description. And as always, guys, my name is Moto, and I'm out. Peace. Bye-bye.